We have major breaking news on the immigration front today. A federal judge ordered the Trump administration to return Kilmar Abrego Garcia back to the United States after he was accidentally sent to a notorious mega jail in El Salvador. Judge Paula Sheenis from the U.S. District Court in Greenbelt, Maryland, ruled that the government must return Garcia by Monday. Garcia, a protected legal resident who has been living in Maryland since 2011 and is originally from El Salvador, was sent back to that country in March over what the Trump administration called an administrative error in court filings on Monday. Joining me now is Skye Perryman, President and CEO of Democracy Forward. Skye, I think anyone who was upset about this case is more upset after today's hearing, given what came to light. ICE officials blamed an administrative error and oversight for Kilmar Abrego Garcia's deportation, but they didn't take action to rectify that mistake. What kind of government makes a mistake that rips a parent from their child and then makes no effort to correct it?
You know, this may be Donald Trump's America or Kristi Noem's America, but it's not what the American people stand for. And we saw that in the court today in the ruling, deep concern that the government had not even followed the advice of the government's own counsel. You saw reporting about the government's own counsel saying that he had recommended to his client that they return Mr. Garcia. And of course, they did not. This is callous, it is unlawful, and it is also un-American.
Let's stay right on that point. You went to exactly what I picked up, which is that you have DOJ's own attorney being critical of the federal government for its lack of cooperation, for the lack of willingness to produce evidence. The judge said there is no warrant for his arrest, meaning Abrego Garcia. There is no statement of probable cause. What is the actual document that got this process started? And the DOJ attorney then responds, I don't have that order. It's not in the record. How can you remove people from this country without so much as a paper trail? And if you were choosing to do that, what does it say about the intent of your operation?
Look, I mean, this is a sham operation. We know that. We know that not just in this case, but in other cases as well. And you're seeing it right out. The government does not even want to follow the advice of its own lawyers. It has been uninterested in actually getting the facts, actually protecting the American people, and instead just wants made for TV moments. And then for us to just say, oops, when they make a mistake, so to speak. This was not a mistake. It has been an intentional policy of this administration to remove people from the country with no process whatsoever. And that is why we are fighting in court. And of course, that's why Mr. Garcia's attorney has been pressing in this case.
Well, let's just take it a step further, which is they remove folks without due process. And then once the mistake was recognized, if I understand it correctly, the government basically has the audacity to argue that they can't do anything about it because Garcia is now in El Salvador's jurisdiction. It almost made me wonder if their play the entire time was not just to wrongfully remove people, but then to remove them from our system of justice.
Well, of course, that's what their play is. And I don't think it's going to work in this case. And I don't think it's going to work in other cases because you have lawyers and judges doing their job to protect the American people when this administration will not. But it is very striking that here you have an attorney from the Department of Justice. I just want to make sure that folks at home understand what happened today, having to say to a court, my client didn't follow my recommendation and I don't have answers that I am supposed to have showing up into court because my client hasn't provided those. That is not how the United States government functions. That's not how any of us get to function if we have to go into court. And I think you really see this lawlessness and callous behavior on display.